to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, we start with a look at the variety of mussels that fill our streams and lakes. Then join us for a segment about memorable love stories. Next, we'll have a poem from Ron Wilson, and we'll end with a look at Final Fridays in Dodge City. Stay with us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Welcome to Around Kansas. I'm Deb Goodrich, and it's great to be with you this morning. Actually, I am in Oberlin this morning. I am at the Sunflower Recreation Center. This is amazing. You've got the bowling alley and the pizza store here, and the pizza is to die for. It is so good. And you've got the theater next door. We actually just had a screening the other day of Thoth's Dragon in this very theater, and it's really nice. And we want to thank Tasha and Kyle, who made us so welcome and also made us some pretty darn good pizza. So I wanted to mention, while I'm in Oberlin, I want to give a shout out. On May 1st, our friend Mary Lattin will be speaking here at the museum. Make sure that you stop by the Decatur Last Indian Raid Museum on your way out west for the Big Kansas Road Trip. And of course, we're getting ready for that May 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Wallace, Cheyenne, and Sherman counties. Now, of course, you know, I'll be at Fort Wallace all that time, so I won't get to venture out and see what's going on everywhere else. But there is a terrific guide that you can pick up, and while you're taking advantage of all those great things in western Kansas, of course, you're going to have to drive through somewhere else to get there, unless you're there already. But, you know, stop at some of these great places. Stop in Oberlin, the Landmark Inn, and stop in and see our friend Gary Anderson. He's got a terrific gift shop, and just maybe you can book Buffalo Bill's room for the night, my personally favorite room. So would love to have you there. And if you're coming through Oakley, of course, make sure you stop at the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center at IHOP. You know, fuel up your body and your vehicle as you're heading for the sights of northwestern Kansas for the Big Kansas Road Trip. So there's so much stuff going on. Man, so much this month. Final Friday in Dodge City will be April 26th, Fort Larned, April 27th. And then April 28th, we're actually doing some documentary filming. So lots going on with us too. You know, our schedules are always so busy. So let us know what's going on in your neighborhood. Hope you can all come out and join us for the Big Kansas Road Trip. I'm really thrilled that one addition to the Big Kansas Road Trip for us is Michael Martin Murphy. And he will be doing a free, yes, I said free, concert at the Fort Wallace Museum on the nights of May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets, and weather permitting, we're going to be outside and watch the shadows fall over the Smoky Hill River with a legendary performer singing us. So it's going to be an amazing time. And on Sunday morning, he will also do a performance. So hope you can join us. Now, on that Saturday, I do know a couple of other things that are going on. Our friend Sammy Philbrick up at Goodland is going to be doing cemetery tours in Goodland at 10 o'clock in the morning and then at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I will be doing cemetery tours at Fort Wallace on May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at 5 o'clock in the evening. And we'll have some friends joining me. So I hope you can come and take advantage of that. Just so much cool stuff going on during that whole week. And there will be a car show going on in Sharon Springs. Everybody's just going to be rolling out the red carpet. And of course, we want to thank Marcy Penner and Wendy Rowe for all their hard work in putting these things together. You know, the Big Kansas Road Trip takes the place of the Kansas Sampler Festival. And gosh, those were phenomenal, weren't they? But a lot of work. And this will actually, the Big Kansas Road Trip each year highlights different regions of the state and gives people the opportunity to visit that area, for people to roll out the red carpet, for people to just, get the highlights of what there is to visit, to shop, to eat, to enjoy the landscape. And I'm telling you, Northwest Kansas, we got some cool landscapes, from the Rickery Breaks up in far northwestern Cheyenne County to the Monument Rocks, and just the Smoky Hills. Man, we've got some beautiful, beautiful places. So we can't wait to have you. Can't wait to have you join us for the rest of the show. It's going to be a great show today. So stay with us.
This segment brought to you by the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center in Oakley.
Once again, I want to thank Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center for being one of our sponsors. And as we've mentioned before, the IHOP restaurant is open. And man, are they doing a booming business, but there's always room for you, so stop in. Now, I don't know about mussels, if those are on the menu. They've got some fish and shrimp, but the freshwater mussels, don't think so. But man, are you going to be blown away when you hear about freshwater mussels? Who knew? They're everywhere.
One need not visit the sea to collect shells. Our streams are full of mussel shells that can be quite pretty and infinitely interesting, according to a pocket guide to Kansas freshwater mussels, published by the Great Plains Nature Center. First, they are not clams, as they're often called. Now that is settled, there are 40 living species of native freshwater mussels in Kansas. Another 8 species are no longer found here. In fact, freshwater mussels are among the most imperiled groups of animals in North America. Over half those that remain in Kansas are threatened, endangered, or a species in need of conservation. They are frontline indicators of the health of our streams. As filter feeders, they are crucial to water quality and clarity and are an important part of the food chain. The invasive species, the Asiatic clam and zebra mussel, do not need host fish to reproduce, and thus reproduce exponentially faster than our native species. A threat to mussel beds a century ago was the button industry, as tons of shells were removed from streams as far west as eastern Kansas. The interior of the shell, mother of pearl, was harvested and a hollow round stamp pressed the buttons out of the shell, and small holes were drilled for the thread. With the advent of plastics, the market for shells diminished. For the full story on native mussels, pick up the pocket guide. But let's take a minute to talk about a couple of them. The white heel splitter is common in eastern Kansas and can be as large as 8 inches across. As the name implies, if you walk through a stream in bare feet, there is a good chance its razor edge would split your heel. Ow! The maple leaf mussel is common in eastern Kansas and in the Smoky Hill and Solomon rivers, and some small sandy streams in far western Kansas. Just as its name implies, it does in fact resemble a maple leaf. It is unique in that its only known fish host is the flathead catfish. The pond horn is common throughout Kansas in ponds, lakes, pooled headwaters of streams. Its survival instincts are pretty amazing, as it can survive for extended periods of time exposed to the air. It plugs its siphoning tube with mucus and waits for rainfall to come back to life. When you are out exploring this summer, take along a pocket guide to freshwater mussels and see how many varieties you can identify. A pink paper shell, a 3-horn warty back, a monkey face, a rabbit's foot, a pigtoe, a pistol grip. Pick up this pocket guide at the Great Plains Nature Center in Wichita or order one online. Welcome to Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in Oakley, Kansas on I-70 at exit 76. I-70, after all, is America's Main Street, and we're right here on Main Street for you. Now that I'm an Oakley resident, I still come in almost every day, and I sit and listen to the conversations of the people around me. You know, the guys who are talking about the big elk they just bagged, or the folks who are taking their kid to college for the first time. People just traveling up and down the highway. Real people, just like you and me. And they find just what I find here, real people to serve them. There's history, there's scenery. We hope you'll stop and see us soon. Welcome to Oakley.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about employee safety and work comp coverage. On your farm, do you ask your friends to come help? Are they considered employees or neighbors helping neighbors? Did you know that you can be held responsible just as if it's a work comp accident? Give me a call, we can discuss. 316-945-6733.
Fort Wallace was the fightingest fort in the West. Fossils, Indians, soldiers, scouts, wagons, trails, pioneers, stories. Discover the story of Fort Wallace and the people who served here, the people who fought here, the people who settled here. Wallace County, where the past is present.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage, said the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, not to be confused with the Chinese philosopher and general Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War, though the same principles often apply to both. Love and war have often been intertwined, and never more so than in the story of Kansas. Take, for example, one of the greatest love stories, that of George and Libby Custer. While most women eschewed the hardship of the army, Libby reveled in it. She followed the general everywhere the army allowed her to go. In 1867, however, she and George were separated, she back at Fort Riley, he on maneuvers to the west. Cholera broke out, and George rushed back to make sure she was safe. Or was it to protect her from the attention of another suitor? No matter, he faced court-martial and was suspended for a year. His punishment? He and Libby vacationed in General Sheridan's home, just off the post at Leavenworth. After his death in 1876, Libby never remarried, remaining his staunchest supporter until her death in 1933. Equally adventurous were Osa and Martin Johnson. Their books and films of African landscapes and wildlife captured the public's imaginations in the early 20th century. They inspired a clothing line, and their story is preserved and shared through the Martin and Osa Johnson Safari Museum in Osa's hometown of Chanute. Its curator, Jackie Borgeson Zimmer, has her own incredible love story with husband Lloyd. In 2001, the Pitch newspaper named Chanute, Kansas, and the museum as Best Romantic Day Trip. I concur. Osa's best-selling biography said it all, I Married Adventure. Louisa Frederici Cody's biography could have been similarly named. Upon her marriage to the man who would become known worldwide as Buffalo Bill, her life was a series of ups and downs, and once the couple even tried to divorce, but the judge wouldn't let them. They are together for eternity atop Lookout Mountain, overlooking the Coors Brewery in Golden, Colorado. There are so many love stories and so little time. Go find them in books and films around the corner, and if you're really blessed, in your own living room. Make a love story. On this holiday of love, let me leave you with the words of J.K. Rowling. To have been loved so deeply, even though the person who loved us is gone, will give us some protection forever. It is in your very skin. And so it is. Happy Valentine's Day, though your love be now or long ago, near or far away.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
My name's Karen Cope, and I have multiple sclerosis. When you have MS, on the outside you look great, but you know what's really going on in the inside is chronic body pain, chronic fatigue. And there's lots of days that I'd wake up and say, oh, please God, help me get through this day. You know, after stem cells, Chloe, my youngest daughter, she was asked by my father-in-law, how's your mom doing? And Chloe said, Grandpa, I've never had a mom like this before, because she was 8 when I was diagnosed, and she really had no other memory of me but being sick. It's really the simple things that we do as a family, like play cards, and to be able to win at cards. You know, they all laugh because I used to repeat myself and say, what hand are we on? You know, where are we at? And it's just been really a true blessing from God, and we're really thankful.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Howdy folks, I'm Ron Wilson, Poet Laureate. In the days of the Old West, the cowboys lived by a code, an unspoken set of rules that we called the Code of the West. Cowboys live by what we call the Code of the West, which is drawn from America's westward quest. This code isn't written down in a book of laws, but is taken from the daily life he draws. These are values which the cowboy strives to live by in the many ways that they might apply. For example, it means taking pride in our work and finishing a job we will not shirk. It means being tough but fair, to always keep our word, and to be a good steward of the land and the herd. It means having the courage to take a stand and being loyal when we ride for the brand, to take good care of our tack and our steeds, and to put our animals' care first above our own needs, to be independent and not run from a fight. In short, to always stand up for what's right. Our nation would be better, I will attest, if we all would follow the Code of the West. Happy trails.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.
Heinen Brothers, a fourth-generation Northeast Kansas farm family, knows how tough farming can be. Farmers Helping Farmers. Heinen Brothers Ag, selling and servicing crop protection products, fertilizer, anhydrous ammonia, cover crops, quality aerial and ground application. Call today to learn about our extended term financing program. 800-760-4964. HeinenBrothersAg.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I was out in Las Vegas, New Mexico, not Nevada, but New Mexico, which is even more fun, doing some Santa Fe Trail business. And I got the opportunity to hang out some with Inga Oila. And Inga is just the most amazing person. And she is one of the artists that will be featured at the final Friday Art Walk in Dodge City. So I hope you get a chance to go by, view all the wonderful art, and it gives us a chance to talk about Dodge City, in a little different light. And if you're wondering who Inga was, you may not have heard of her, but you are sure familiar with her dad. Remember the opening of Gunsmoke? Every single week, Matt Dillon had a shootout right there on the streets of Dodge, and that poor guy bought it every single week. Well, that was Inga's dad, who was just an amazing gentleman, and you're going to be equally impressed with Inga as you get to know her artwork, and we share more of that with you from time to time. But make sure you go out to the Dodge City Final Friday Art Walk. Tell Inga and all the other artists that I sent you. Take a look.
Every final Friday, downtown Dodge City becomes alive with the best visual, performing, and culinary arts in western Kansas. Begin your tour through the Arts District, where appetizers and drinks are served. Explore the historic landmarks and admire local and traveling artistic talent at the venues. You'll see paintings, jewelry creations, sculptures, traveling exhibits, and experience talented musicians of varying genres, poetry, and more. The Carnegie Center for the Arts features unique architecture and is located in the historic downtown Dodge City. With a unique round second-story gallery, this repurposed building is home to the Dodge City Arts Council, which provides gallery space and a small gift shop featuring the work of local artisans. The Carnegie Center for the Arts will feature the art of Inga Oila on the final Friday this month on April 26. Inga hails from the great Northwest and has been going back and forth to Dodge City for many years. She is especially drawn to depicting wildlife in her work and spends her time researching the habitat they live in. She says that this enables her to apply more realism. She utilizes a mixed medium to give her art more depth and effect. Inga's talents are so varied. She has created commercial murals for clients ranging from Mexican restaurants to museums. She is as adept with a hammer or saw as a paintbrush, and her projects tend to be those that utilize her abilities as a builder and designer as well as those of the artist. She also does restoration and set museum design. Truly, Inga is a Renaissance woman. While you are visiting Dodge City, be sure to visit the iconic Wild West bronze sculptures along Wyatt Earp Boulevard. Wyatt Earp himself was created by Mary Spurgeon. Janet Zobel created Doc Holliday at the card table. Marshal Matt Dillon of the TV series Gunsmoke, as portrayed by James Arness, was done by Tony Cipriano. Soon, Bat Masterson will join his old Padres when sculptor Carson Norton completes the legendary lawman. Final Friday is the perfect time to sample everything Dodge City has to offer: entertainment, food, history, art, and some amazing folks making it all happen.
Thanks, folks. It's been great having you with me today. We'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes. hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of